Amen. Why don't we take a seat? What's up, guys? Hi, Jordan. What you guys doing this scouting time? They gave you a boat one day. Yeah. All right. Sweet. Good to see you guys. I can see you a lot better this morning. I can see you guys a lot better this morning. There it is. I can hear myself a lot better too. No. I can see you guys a lot better this morning because of the brilliant sunlight. So, isn't the sun awesome? Yeah. I mean, there's a giant ball of gas out there, and it's providing light for the whole world. That's awesome. That's cool. So, I have those moments where I just look at things and I'm like, that's awesome. Like, sometimes I'll look at my hand and I'll just like move my fingers and like my brain is sending impulses to my hand to tell my hand to move. That's awesome. Anyways, so I have those moments. Alright guys, hey, last night I talked about how this morning we're going to be talking about why the heck we need rescue. Why is it important? Why is this theme really relevant to each and every one of us? And so we're going to be talking about this morning, and the theme of what we're talking about today is despair sucks. Despair sucks. That's what we're going to be talking about this morning. With that, let me open us up in a quick word of prayer, and we will jump into it. God, you are glorious, God, and we want to seek your glory all the time. God, I just pray that we can be people that seek your face, that people that want to show your love to people around us, God, and be people that are devoted to you, God, that we get in our words, that we pray to you, God, and we seek you for help, God. Thank you that you are the great and mighty rescuer, God. And I just pray that you can speak through me today, God, as we learn about despair and impending death, God. We just pray for that this morning. In your name, amen. So yes, despair does suck. It really does. I mean, it's that feeling of just, man, I'm going to die. Something's going to happen. I'm in grave danger. It's a horrible feeling. It resides deep in your gut when you feel like you're in despair. Whether that's, actual physical despair from, some kind of rescue situation, or whether it's, your social life, things like that. There is moments of these despair, and it sucks. Now, the interesting thing about despair is that despair actually can be unique to certain people. It can be unique to the type of person you are. Now, I think of certain situations like skateboarding down like a gnarly hill, just like this, and there's like rocks everywhere, pebbles and everything like that. For some people, that could be like one of the most terrifying situations ever. I mean, that could be like super scary. However, for some of you guys out there, I know that sounds exhilarating. Something like that is really exciting, going down, and you might not be as in much despair going down that hill. Or how about, who's scared of heights? Yeah, what about like if you're like doing a hike with your youth group and you have to walk around like this cliff edge and it's going down, there's this little trail. For some of you, that's just like, that's death to you. You're just flipping out. You can't stand like the wind's going to come up, it's going to catch me, and I'm going to go soaring off this cliff. I'm going to land on those jagged rocks down there. You may be despairing about that situation. But for those people that are all tough and, I can skateboard, I can walk on heights and everything like that, maybe with you, there's an aspect of, there's this despair of your social life. What about dancing in public? Some people just might be like, that would be social death for me. I cannot dance in public. I know there's a lot of guys out there, it's like, I ain't doing it, I'm not going out there. That could be really embarrassing, but maybe you can face that fear this weekend when we play that dance game. So, yeah, I was doing it last night. I was trying it. It was good. And then what about the despair, I'm sure that we all know. What about like a big, huge test? Something coming up. And like you knew about it for like 8 days, but you didn't crack open your book once. And you're just like there, I've been there. You're just like, oh, this is it. I'm dead. I'm done. No more. So there's different types of despair. And what you guys may not know is that from the ages of 15 to 21, every summer I work full time as an ocean lifeguard for Laguna Beach Lifeguards. And so I've interacted with a lot of different people that are in despair. And the thing about Laguna Beach is it's a wide tourist area, so you get a lot of people from all over. You know, you get people from Europe, you get people from, Mexico and Central America, you get people from Canada, you get people from like Georgia and Atlanta who have no idea what like the ocean really is. They have no experience to seeing it. So even just going to the beach is a moment of despair for them. They're walking, they're looking at these waves and like, I can't go in there, I'm gonna die. But I've had some pretty funny stories being on the beach. I had one moment, actually this happened twice, where I'm sitting in the tower and these dolphins, go bounding kind of outside the shore, and everybody's like, wow, dolphins, look. There was one person with, I've never seen somebody with more tear on their face ever. I mean, just sheer tear, bolting out of the water as fast as they can, yelling a word that I'm guessing you guys can guess. Shark! Shark! Help! And she runs up to my tower, there's a shark, my kids are in there, get them out! And I'm like, okay, it's cool, no down. Those are dolphins actually. Those aren't harmful, they're not gonna hurt you, they're, like flipper, see that? She was like breathing, like she was about to hyperventilate and pass out. I was worried about that. I'm like, I'm gonna have to do medical stuff on her because she's gonna pass out. I'm gonna have to do something. I don't know. Anyways, and then I've also had this situation several times as well, where you have those people that they're not really comfortable in the water, they're not really comfortable swimming, and then they get to the point where in their mind they're gonna drown. They're gonna drown. I'm drowning. And they're trying to paddle. They're trying to get. And I come up and I just kind of, hey, it's okay. You grab my hand. Let's stand up here. Okay, see, you can stand here. There's sand actually underneath. Oh, okay, thanks. So, I've had those situations that are like real rescues and like real things, like real danger that I've had to save people. Lifeguarding, but far, far, far more are those type of situations where people are just flipping out. They're in despair. Now, I have a story for you guys of my childhood, because I'm going to share a lot about my childhood. And I actually have a picture for you guys that I want to show you. A little bit of the attitude that I have. This is a very good attitude. It's a good picture. It shows my personality right there. I mean, in my mind, I wasn't afraid of nothing. And I was a go-getter. I would just, I had my little toy gun there. Like, it didn't really matter if it was a squirrel or whether a pterodactyl. I was taking it down. And that was my attitude. Now, this is in a place called Coal Canyon, and it's a place off of the 91 freeway. Probably many of you guys passed it on the way up here. And I had that place to my, I could go there whenever I want when I was a kid because my family was friends with the caretaker of that property. And so a lot of my childhood took place at Coal Canyon. It was awesome. I mean, there was rattlesnakes, there was I could shoot my little 22, and you could jump underneath a waterfall and do rope swings, and it was awesome. But my favorite part of the whole Coal Canyon was if you drove at the top of the very highest mountain, you got to this giant rock formation. There's all these huge boulders. I always thought it was really cool because there's mountain lion caves and stuff like that. And I'm like, Tyler, go in there, get in there, see what's in it. And then he'd be like, no way. And so I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And then he'd run, and there was never any mountain lions. But it was cool because there was these giant rock formations, and me and my family was having lunch up there. Me and my dad and my friend's dad was having lunch up there. And I told Tyler, let's go explore. Let's go check this place out. And we told our dads, hey, we're going to go explore. And they're like, okay. It's like, if they died, I guess they died. I don't know. My dad did love me, I swear. So me and my Tyler were exploring, and we're looking all around, and we're walking up this area that there's like a crevice between two of these giant boulders. And I'm walking up there, and Tyler's behind me, he's looking around, he's like, oh, we're just gonna make sure we can get back. And I'm like, oh, we're good. And so I'm leading the charge, and I'm going through these different crevices, and we get to the point where it's a dead end, they meet, it closes up. And Tyler's like, okay, well, let's head up back. I'm like, no, we're cool, because if you look here, Tyler, there's like, we could probably scale this right here. I mean, the top is only right there. And he's like, I just think we were just go back. He was always the smart one. And I'm like, no way, I got this. He's like, okay. And so I start scaling these things, and there's these little rocks. And by the way, I'm like 7 years old or something, like 5 years old. That age, whatever that is. And so I'm like scaling these rocks, and I'm climbing, and I'm feeling like a stud. Like and Tyler's down at the bottom, and I'm just like looking down to him. And so I'm scaling it, and I'm going up, and then all of a sudden, one of the rocks that I have, it slips out, and it breaks off. And I'm like, okay, cool. I still got this hand. And then one of my ones on my feet slipped. And I'm like, okay, a little more trouble now. And what had happened is I entered into a part where it was, all the rocks were embedded in sandstone. And so pretty much, like, every rock could only really last me for maybe a couple seconds until it would break loose. And so I was in this place of just like, all these different rocks are slipping. And I'm just freaking out. I am in despair in that moment. Because I'm going to fall. I mean, I'm not super scared of heights, but I'm scared of, falling on rocks. So I'm sitting here and I'm looking down, and Tyler's like, "Are you okay?" And I yelled, "Tyler, go get my dad!" And so he ran and got our dads, and my dad came and he pulled me out, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Thought I could do it."